We have been working on the tenets of metaphysical Christianity. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Have you all learned anything?
Yes.
Okay. I want to start with a little silly moment. I just want to let you guys know, everything that I speak of, even though it is maybe from my perspective, I started in a metaphysical Christian church in '85, the year that my son was born. I also was raised in a somewhat loose metaphysical environment. But when I started in '85, I started applying everything that I talked to you about. I was not allowed to leave corporate for 10 years. I used these principles to navigate my world, to create the world I needed to bring me greater love. I do not speak to you from having read it in a book and standing up and talking to you about it. Everything that we talk about, I have tried to use and have been successful somewhat in certain areas. But just understand, even these ideas that we'll present today that may seem out there have been the basis of a practical walk in this world for me. Okay, that being said, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Tenets of metaphysical Christianity, we've been trying to do this so that we understand basic differences in what is standard Christendom and what is metaphysical Christianity. The first week we talked about the tenet that we believe we're a child of God. We are the Christ, child of God, and we define Christ as that spark of divinity within each person, no matter what faith you choose. If you are an animated human being walking on the planet, there is a spark of divinity within you, and you are a child of God. However you choose to express that, worship, define yourselves, is up to you. This is our belief. We also believe that as children of God, we are creators, and we live in laws. We talked about attraction a little bit, cause and effect, the oneness. We create, then we tend our creations. We're farmers. We create and we tend our creations. Then we talked the next week about polarity versus duality, the idea of a good and a bad versus the idea of everything is an experience and there is a spectrum. You can travel up and down. It's your choice. And if we go into polarity and understand there are polarities you can experience, where does your choice always lie? Where is your power? It's within the choice that you make from within you. If we go into duality and we give power to things outside of ourselves, then our power is outside of self. And as metaphysical Christian tenets, we want our power to be within. And it's always within. Even when we pretend to give it without, it's still within you. All right. Then Patrick spoke of thought and the physical and creating our physical reality and our walk with God. And he was very inspired last week as he took us down the path of understanding potential of being God's child. So, today is Soul and Christ. So, I am going to teach. Sometimes you get a good message, which we would call a sermon. Sometimes you get a lesson. Today's lesson time, so I'm going to teach. So, are you ready to learn?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. You know, I pray all the time that our higher self or our Christed nature be fully present in our bodies. Do you notice that?
Yes.
In the opening prayer, I ask that all of our Christed natures be fully present in our bodies. And you hear it so much, it's just familiar to you. So now we're going to talk about why we do that. Okay? All right. And some of you may already understand this. This may just be refresher for you. But it's good to refresh, isn't it? It's good to reboot and think a little differently. All right. We all feel God's love, right? But do we feel it all the time? No. But when you feel it, and you feel it, there's no denying it's the presence of God. Yes? And it has a unique feeling. Say yes like you mean it.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody is on board with me. Okay, I need to make sure. All right. Why don't we feel it all the time? Because most of the time we are feeling our own experiences. Most of the time our attention of feeling is on what's going on around us. Am I comfortable? Am I not comfortable? Is the person breathing too hard next to me? Do I have enough space? You know, and we feel and we react to things that are going on around us. Our experiences, these are the things that we have chosen to invest our energy into, our experiences. Did you realize that basically everything on earth is about feeling? Huh. Think about it. Everything on earth is about feeling. Even knowledge provides information for choice that creates a feeling. You know, even when you're in the dry informational knowledge, it gives you information to create a choice to feel. You may even have a feeling about the knowledge. Everything is about feeling. So we feel everything even when we don't want to. We feel the suppression of feeling, right? Because we're feelers. We're feelers. And the world tells us, do what makes you happy, do what brings you joy, feeling. We say, do what brings you love, and do what brings you closer to God, feeling. So, if feeling is the reason for experiences, do you think we would choose, if we knew that consciously, do you think we would consciously make different choices? Yes, we would. Because we would be looking for what makes me feel love and light, what makes me feel frustrated, instead of trying to mold ourselves to the world around us. All right, I want to try to keep simple. Okay. All right. Everything is an emotional reaction. This is why I teach my students in all of my classes to say, I love this stuff. Thank you. Especially when we've had a difficult class. I say, and they say, I love this stuff. So that they walk out feeling empowered, that they love this stuff. Because I want their emotional reaction to be the very last thing positive, no matter how frustrated they might have been during the process. See? Feeling. And then they will file that information in a different place, won't they? I love this stuff, and it's going to be easy. All right. Love is a vibration that's higher than anything we know. And when we feel love, we feel it. We don't intellectualize it. We feel it. All right. When I acknowledge that I feel my way through life, I can open my path to intuition. Intuition is opening the door to the inner kingdom of divinity. If I acknowledge that I feel my way through life, I can open the door to intuition, which opens the door to my divinity, feeling. And divinity takes us back to the idea of the Christ within each one of us. All right. Ready to learn?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be sharing from the Aquarian Gospel introduction. Again, let me preface this by saying I found this book probably 91, maybe. Patrick introduced me to it. As a child, reading all we could about metaphysical thought outside of a church, it was just metaphysical thought. You know, Edgar Cayce was popular back in the day. We're talking ancient history here. What I am about to read to you is in everything. It's not just the Aquarian. It's in everything. Ready?
Yes.
Thank you. Time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, a time would come when it would end. Okay? The thoughts of God cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend infinite. All finite things are subject to change. The body and the soul of men are finite, and they will change. And from the finite point of view, the time will come when they will no longer be. The body and the soul of man. But man himself is not the body nor the soul. He is spirit and part of God. God gave him a soul that he might function on the plane of soul, and a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of manifest. Breathe. Shall I recap?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
You are, as we all are, thoughts of God. We are created in the energy of God. We are thought of God in spirit, which means we are one with God. We are part of God. We are, in that context, what we call the Christ. That perfect Spirit of God. And in the plan, God created for us the opportunity to create a soul. A soul is a storehouse for experiences. It's a place where we can house the polarities we experience, the ups and the downs, all of the ins and outs that we experience. And then we created a physical body to come into the manifest, this earth plane, this third dimensional reality, to have experiences. Is everybody following me so far? So let's say when you cross over, when you die, from this lifetime, right here, right now, you will take back to soul everything you experienced on this plane that you have not resolved. If you've resolved it, it's done, it's erased. But if you still harbor ill will, or if you've done something fabulous, or if your soul is shining, or if you're unhappy when you cross over, all that goes with you. Go yay! 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 It goes with you. Where's it going to go? It doesn't vibrate of God, necessarily, if it's bitterness or angst. It goes into soul, where it can be held. All of your experiences go to soul, where they can be held. And then, in soul and your higher self, that spark of divinity within you, you look at your soul and you say, well, my goodness, this is polarized a little bit. I've got a little too much strife going on one section, so I need to heal that. Let me create a lifetime where I can take another body down, bring back some of those memories of strife, and heal them. And would you come with me because you love me, and would you remind me that I'm supposed to be loving when I come down? Can you guys kind of set up a situation so I can prove that I'm loving and I can learn and grow? And everybody goes, absolutely, high five, that'll help me too. I'll learn this, you learn that. We make these great plans. And we come down into manifest again, born to the perfect parents that we have chosen. I chose my parents. And we have that life, the life that will help us heal, that which in soul is not vibrating where we want to go, a life that will help us achieve greater understanding of God and of spirit. And when we're done, guess where we go? Back to soul. Now, what this means is that soul will eventually be erased. The experiences will no longer matter because we'll remember who we are. We'll remember that we are the divine child of God. Does that explain reincarnation to you?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
All right. It goes on to say, man thought of God, all the thoughts of God are infinite, and we do believe that we were all created at the same time. We believe that all of this light wave, all the Christ, we were all created at the same time. When you hear people speak of a young soul or an old soul, a young soul is someone who acts for self-interest. They're trying to learn who they are. So they'll come in and they'll have incarnations where it's like, no, I've got to do what I need to do without concern of anybody else around me because I'm learning something. An old soul comes in and brings the great knowledge of a connectivity with others, responsibility of the planet. You know, we have much more of a universal perspective. But here's the thing that you don't understand. You could be a very old soul in one incarnation and come back and look like a young soul in the next because it's all about you next time. Because you've given all that you had in one and now you're going into another. Okay? All right. Man, like every other thought of God, is a seed that holds the potentials of God. And the seed has to be planted. Deep within itself, the attributes of every part of this seed have to grow. So spirit man is seed of God, held deep within himself, the attributes of every part of God. Seeds are perfect, yet they have not unfolded what they will be. Right? The tomato seed is perfect, but it's not a tomato. We are perfect, but here we get to unfold all of the attributes of God. So we can remember who we are and become who we are in this beautiful world of manifest. in this beautiful world where I can create my realities, I can pretend I don't know what I'm doing, I can create challenges to challenge me. I'm very powerful, aren't I? But I am unfolding the attributes of God, and the greatest attribute of God is love. I'm learning to love. I'm learning to be love. To love everything. To love matter, to love creations, to love one another, to love. Man seed. So man, the seed, must be deep planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfold to show the flower. Okay, that was the introduction. All right. It's very complicated, isn't it? And so you will ask me, well, Cindy, what does that have to do with me paying for my groceries? What does that have to do with me finding the love of my life? What does it have to do with anything? You can live lifetimes without even knowing that you're living lifetimes. You can live experiences after experiences without even realizing you're a child of God. But at some point, in order to unfold, there is something within you that will need to know spirit and need to know self. And it's okay, no matter what path you choose, to unfold that, to learn self. But as you start trying to understand, who am I am greater than this lifetime, greater than this moment, greater than I think. All of this stuff will be of interest to you. I am greater than that. I am not my past experiences. I am greater than that. But in order to master this earth plane, don't you think walking to spirit also helps you with matter? If you know you're a divine child of God, don't you think you'll create differently? If you know that everything I do is coming back to me, I might create differently. When you look at someone, you go, darn, I remember you from before, and you scare me. Don't you think you'll look at them differently? Maybe you'll remember, I need to heal this, you know? Okay. There are some helps that we can do in our walk on this planet to find the Christ in us, to find our higher self. Let me get really clear with you guys. When I'm focused on the outer world, when I'm focused on getting my needs met, getting the money for groceries, finding the love of my life, creating this, creating that, perfect job, perfect this, perfect that, my energy's outside myself. And I'm all about you guys. I'm all about what's happening. I'm all about all the stuff in the world, what farmer grew this for me to eat. I'm all about this. At the end of the day, you will be empty. And we all have been there, have we not? Yes. Comes when even we have everything that we need, and we're empty. Our spirit needs light. We need love. We need God in our world. We need God. You know, we have our own challenges as individuals. I have my own challenges as an individual. I've got a whole list of things I'm working on. And I ask God, you know, what would solve all my problems? God. Money won't solve it. It won't change my vibration of magnetism. I'm drawing what I'm drawing for a reason. Somebody coming in is not going to help. God moving through me, shifting me and lifting me, that will solve every problem I have. The greater idea of God's love moving through me and shifting me draws greater love to me. And every problem will go into resolution, resolving. So, in the Aquarian, this is chapter 58, it says there are 4 steeds that help man in his journey of evolving the race. You ready? Do you want to bring more of your higher self into your body?
Yes.
Can you feel the difference? Do you know when you're in your lower frequency? Do you know when you're feeling God's love flowing through you? Have you ever had an opportunity to talk to someone, just be in a room and to be chatting, and you start at business level, and then all of a sudden you're talking about spirit, and the whole room lights up? and you're on fire and they're on fire and hours go by and you don't even know what happened. And you've been channeling God the whole time. God's flowing through you. You know, you say things you didn't know you knew. It's just amazing, and you feel like God's child. And you're so amazed with that moment. You just want to treasure it and hold on to it. But then you go back to work, and the next day you've kind of forgotten about it. And you see that person again, and you go, ah, don't have time. I can't talk. You know, we vibrate back down to taking care of business. So these are the 4 steps that will help us higher, to stay higher. The soul is drawn to perfect light by 4 white steeds. These are will, faith, helpfulness, and love. Will allows us to focus our energy. The knowledge of power, that which one wills to do, you have the power to do. So will helps us focus our energy. The other is faith. If we understand our abilities, we can have faith that we can accomplish. You know, once you know you can do something, do you not have faith you can do it?
Yeah.
You don't doubt that you can do it. You don't have to relearn everything. So my will helps me focus, and my faith in my abilities helps me repeat it. And the 4th one is help. It says, a selfish faith leads not to light, but there is no lonely pilgrim on the way to light. When you are working for light, you will not be alone. And men gain heights by helping others gain heights. When we are helpful, and helpful not by making ourselves dim. How many of you dim your light so others can shine? Okay. Hands in the air. Every light, every hand, yeah. We dim our light so others can shine. That's not helpful. But when you shine your light, it lets the light feed others. That is helpful. So, shining our light in helpfulness helps our light grow. And then the last one is love. The universal love that all the sages speak about is Christ. When we move into love, we move into our own divinity. Do you realize that when you are loving anything, really loving it, you're feeling God moving through you. You're touching your own divinity. So will allows you to focus. Faith allows you to repeat, draw greater energy. Helpfulness, where you're shining your light, and then focusing on love. All right. When we feel, back to feeling again, when we feel helpful, love, focused will, do we not feel empowered? When we feel empowered, do we not feel closer to Spirit? We do. When you feel less than or fearful, how do you feel toward God? Distant, right? When I'm less than or I'm afraid, and fear is a feeling, I distance myself from the very thing I am. Feeling. So, in the Bible it says God reigns on the just and the unjust, and we add, but he only flows through the willing. You have every right as a child of God to choose whatever you want to experience. And if you want to experience it going alone, go for it. If you want to experience having power over other people, somebody will play with you. If you want to experience being upset and angry, go for it. You have every right to do those things. The problem with those things is they do not vibrate with the harmony, love, peace, and joy of God. So you will actually feel yourself separating from Creator, separating from who you are inside. As we love and ask that spark of divinity come into us, that spark I am come into me, everything about my life lives. Now remember, in my soul, I had all of these experiences. In my soul, I have experiences. I said, I will work on this, and this lifetime. I pick my parents. I am born into a body. I have my life journey. Some of you wonder why it is so dang hard And I will tell you because you scripted it that way. Some of you will say, silver spoon in the mouth, and I'm going to say, I wish I had too. I didn't script it that way. You see? But where we are today is a master plan from your higher self to clear, heal, advance you, your soul, energy, who you are, so that you know God greater right here, right now. And if I ask that my higher self be present in my body, I am literally turning to my divine, the Christ within. If I be lifted up, bring all men unto me. That was the scripture of the divine dip this morning. When I lift up into my divinity, I help my entire soul. The whole soul goes, nee. A human did it. A human's doing it. A human's trying. Yes, and it blesses all the experiences I've ever had. Did you guys know that? And then you feel lighter, brighter, and happier. I know this was a lot of probably review for you. Did anybody learn something? Okay, all right. So, are we ready to lighten our load a little bit? Are we ready to create a space? And the meditation that was given to me to lead you on, we're coming at it from an angle that we have not even discussed. All right? Normally in our meditations we review and we anchor energy in. We're not doing that today. You ready?
Yes.
We're going to lift our frequencies. So let's just breathe. And I want you to just feel that beautiful love of God coming over you and creating a sacred space just for you. Not aware of the party next to you, just kind of in God's love and light. And now feel the presence of Jesus Christ with you. Or an angel. And if Jesus Christ has come forward, recognize He demonstrated full awareness of the Christ on this planet. He is the awakened one. So you can take Him by the hand. And I want you to move now to a space that is safe for you. And feel yourself being lifted. Perhaps you'll go into the garden of your heart. Perhaps you'll go up into the ethers, into a beautiful cloud. But let this beautiful energy of the Christ lift you to a space that is safe for you. And when you get there, just breathe and feel the energy. Just feel the energy. Just become aware that you really are in your own energy field right now, in this safe space. Everything is balanced for you. And I want you to now ask that from your energy field, who you are in this lifetime, this moment, that all judgment be pulled out of your body and create a pile of energy to your right. All judgment that you have about anything in your mind, in your field, anything that you've judged, anything that you've judged, pull it out and let a pile of judgment be created to the right. Just let it go. Let it go into its little pile, all judgment. All right, you ready? We're going to call forth all doubt. All doubt in my energy field, doubting of self, doubting of others, all doubt. We're going to pull it out and we're going to create a pile right in front of us. It doesn't have to be right in front, directly in front of you. Pull out all doubt of self, doubting thoughts, doubt of your capacity, doubt of people, doubt of anything. Pull it out and put it in front of you. Ready? Now we're going to call forth your bossy self. All the bossy thoughts you have. We're going to create a pile to your left. All the bossy thoughts you have. All the times you should yourself, all the bossy energy that keeps you in limitation. Pull it out to the left. You've gotten good. This moves quicker now. And now you should see 3 piles. You carry this energy with you always. I want you to look straight ahead at doubt, and I want you to realize I can let that go. I do not want to doubt myself any longer. I want faith to move through me. And I want you to breathe and feel a beautiful angel come and just whisk that doubt energy right out of you, whisking it right out of this safe space and taking it to Spirit. We're releasing it to God. I let all the doubt go. Let it go. And now look at that bossy self. Well, if I don't doubt, I don't need that bossy self. So let's just breathe and see the angel come and take that bossy self, all those bossy energies right out of the field, lifting them up. I don't need to be told what to do anymore. Letting it go. I don't doubt. I don't need to be told what to do. And now look at the judgment. And I want you to look at the pile of judgment. I want you to call forth the good intentions that are being crushed by the judgment. And pull the energy of good intentions out of that pile. Everything you meant well about. All the good intentions. And see the good intentions just create another pile of energy right in front of you. And as those good intentions are taken out from underneath the judgments, see the judgment energy crumble. I am good, and I mean good. Take a breath and let the angel sweep the judgment away. Taking it out of your energy field, letting it go, letting the remnant go. Letting the remnant go. And I want you to look at those good intentions, and I want you to realize I am trying, I have been investing my energy in good. And see all the light in those good intentions. And let's lift them to soul, shall we? See beautiful angels, just lift them up into your soul. Let them go. We don't even need to remember them any longer. Lift all that good light to soul. And as it raises up, realize it's just you and the Christ, you and Jesus there. Take his hand. Father, Mother God, I ask that you bless each one, that in this moment they feel their Christ light shining, that they know they are renewed. Feel that love of God pouring through you. Feel the light in your heart and see the sparkle in Jesus' eyes. And very gently feel as he brings you back into your body. Back into this beautiful body that you created for this lifetime. Sitting in your chair. I am heaven on earth. I am one with God, and I am on earth. I am the Christ, child of God, heaven on earth. Let your light just move out into your field. Let your arc field come alive. And say, thank you, God. Thank you. Just breathe. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And Jesus said, Life and Teachings, I am the light of the world. The I am is the seed of God in man's heart. It is the light. It is the still small voice which speaks in every human heart. The I Am is Christ, universal spirit of love, which speaks to the hearts of true, good men and women. Yea, God.